location of the algae. So our next topic is that classification of algae. So there are mainly three groups of algae are present. First one is a green algae, second one is the red algae, and last one is the brown algae. So they are classified based on their primary photosynthetic pigment, their storage product, then their cell wall composition, and next is their type and location of the flagella. So first group is the green algae. So this green algae is also called as a chlorophyllose. So what are the characters of these green algae? So first their habit. So their habit is that they are the freshwater, marine and the terrestrial. Then photosynthetic pigment. So photosynthetic pigment present in that is the A and P. Then their cell wall component is the cellulose. Then they store food in the form of the starch. Okay, where inside the plastids. Then the flagella. So they possess the flagella, 2 flagella per cells. Okay. Then next is that mode of reproduction. So mode of reproduction by sexual method and by the isogamous and the oogamous mechanism. And the example of the green algae, that is the chlorophysis, Climodonas, Volvox, Eleutheryx, Cara, Alva. Okay, so these are the sea algae, seaweeds mostly. Okay, so this is the first group of the algae, that is the chlorophycose. Second group is the red algae. So this red algae is called as a rhodophyce. Okay, so as per name, red algae, why? Because they are present the red pigment. Because of that, they are also called as a rhodophyce. Then next is their habit. So their habit is a marine and freshwater photosynthetic pigment. So now see here, in chlorophyce there is a photosynthetic pigment is A and B. Here photosynthetic pigment is A and D. Also they possess the carotenoids and the phycobilins. In phycobilins they possess the phycoerythrin. Because of that they shows the red color. Okay. Then next is their cell wall component. So cell wall component is the cellulose. Here also chlorophyce also cell wall component is cellulose. Now here is the difference in storage food. So in rhodophyce, the storage of food in the form of the Floridian starch. So what is this Floridian starch? It is the alpha 1 for glucose derivatives. And where they store? So they store in cytosol. Okay. So what is the difference in chlorophyce? So in chlorophyce, the storage of food in the form of the starch, and where in the plastid. Okay. Here the storage of food in the form of the Floridian starch, which are the derivative of the alpha 1 for glucose, and where they store? They store in the cytosols. Then in chlorophyce, flagella are present. In rhodophyce, flagella are absent. Okay, then does not show the asexual reproduction. Here they are reproduced by the both asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. When they reproduce by the asexual mode of reproduction, at that time they use the mechanism, that is the fragmentation, and by non-motile mitospores. When they reproduce by the sexual reproduction, they at that time they use the mechanism oogamous, and in the here gametes are the non-motile. The example is the Polycyporia, Gracilaria and Giladium. Okay, this Giladium is also source of agar. Okay, so you in your syllabus there is a next point is the what are the economical importance of algae. So these are the economical importance of the algae. Then next class is the brown algae. So this brown algae is also called as a phaeophyce. The habit is same as a rhodophyce, that is a marine and freshwater. Here they possess the chlorophyll A and C. Okay, chlorophyce mein which pigments are present in that? In that there is the A and B. In rhodophyce, okay, in rhodophyce A and D. And in phaeophyce A and C. Okay. Then also they possess the carotenoids, phycobilins. Okay. Then next is the shade of the brown. Why? Because they possess the xanthophyll pigment and phycoxanthine. Okay. So red algae, why they are red? Because of phycoerythrin. Okay. Now brown algae, why they are brown? because of the xanthophyll and vicozanthine. Then cell wall component is the cellulose and alginic acid. Okay. Then next is the cellulose is covered by the gelatinous coating, that is the algin. Then next is the storage of the food. So here storage of the food in the form of the laminarian and mannitol. Okay. In rhodophysi in the form of the fluoridian starch, and in chlorophysi in the form of the only starch. Okay. So flagella is present here too, and unequal in size and lateral flagella is the arrangement. Then asexual mode of reproduction by the fragmentation or by motile zoospores. Then next they may produce this bisexual mode of reproduction, and when they reproduce by the sexual mode of reproduction, at that time they possess a mechanism by isogamous and isogamous and oogamous. Okay, an example is the ectocarpus, laminaria, fucus. Now next is that what are the economical importance of the algae. Okay, so next point is that economical importance of the algae. So first, algae as a primary producer. Okay, why? Because they are the photosynthetic organism. So they provide the base for the most of the aquatic animals. Okay, so they act as a primary producer. Then as a commercially view. Okay, so they are the economically important because some are produce the alginic acid. Okay, so alginic acid is used in industry purpose. Then they possess the carangenian. It is produced by the several algae of the red algae, cell wall of the red algae. Okay, so this is also used in industry. Then agar, okay, which is used in microbiology, very important chemical. Okay, so this agar is also extracted from the giladium and grassicelaria. Okay, then alginic acid I already told you. Then sometimes they are also used as a food, mostly in Japan. Okay, for example, porphyra is a group of algae, red algae, which is used in Japan as a food. Then chondrus and mammalian also used in a food. Then next economical importance of algae. So many of algae now used, okay, for the production of SCP, for the single cell protein production. So this is all this about the economical importance of the algae.